So welcome to today's class. I have planned for you a morning yoga routine. So this is a sequence that is really nice to do first thing in the morning. And it's one that you can do again and again. It gets you moving, makes you a little more alert. So we'll get started you can start in whatever centering posture you like. But I recommend for today's practice starting in Sukhasana easy pose. So it's like a cross-legged seated pose. And the reason is because sometimes if you start in child's pose, especially if you just sort of woke up, you might almost fall asleep in it, and that's not what we're supposed to do. So come on up to a seated position. And then let's turn the palms facing up. And on an inhale, lifting up nice and tall. And on an exhale, close the eyes. So it's still our centering posture and taking a few moments here. Same goals for our centering in this class as any other. To create that delineation between the busyness of our day and our yoga practice. And we'll take a few slow, deep breaths through the nose. Just getting our muscles some oxygen before we get started. Just a little bit longer. Slow, deep inhales through the nose. And nice long exhales through the nose. And then return the breathing to normal. And just let our body assimilate all that extra oxygen, waking us up. And slowly opening the eyes. So hopefully feeling just a little bit more alert and a little bit more calm. Difference between calm and sleepy, right? So from here, let's start with a few neck rolls or head rolls. First thing in the morning, usually the neck feels a little bit tight, so this is a really nice one. So we'll lean our head over to the right, so ear to right shoulder, and then chin moves down towards the chest. Left ear, left shoulder, and all the way around. And again, number 2, so nice and slow. Slow, slow, slow. All the way around. And heading into number 3. And then once your third circle is complete, just float the head up to neutral. And then other direction. So left to left. Chin moves down, right to right, and completing the circle. Number 2, nice and slow. And our third and final circle, nice and smooth. And then when you're complete, lifting all the way up to neutral. From here, let's lean over to the right hand, left arm reaches up and over to the side. So nice side bend. And then opening up the heart towards the sky. Few deep breaths here for 1, 2, and 3. Belly scoops in, floating all the way up and over, other side. Lifting the heart towards the sky. Deep breath for 1. 2. And 3. Belly scoops in. Come on, all the way up. Round 2. So maybe lowering down to the elbow if that's in your practice. If not, just repeating the same. For 1, breathing deep through the nose. 2, opening the heart towards the sky. And 3. Belly scoops in a little bit stronger this time to come on all the way up, floating over to the other side. Breathing deep for 1. Again, spinning the heart open to the sky for 2. And 3. Belly scoops in quite strongly. Come on all the way up. And then we'll head into some arm circles. So let's lean over onto the right hand. Left arm extends out to the side. Reaching your extended arm back. Try to keep the shoulders square. Up. All the way over. And around. Again, reaching out and back, all the way over and around. Last time, see if we can make an even bigger circle. All the way over and around. Belly scoops in, come on up to neutral or through neutral and over to the other side. Extending right arm out, reaching back, all the way over and around. Again, out, back, over and around. Last time, out, reaching back, all the way over and around. Belly scoops in and floating up. And we'll get moving. So let's come on up to hands and knees. Taking all the time you need. So a nice leisurely morning yoga. Then we'll tuck the toes under and hips press up and back to that first downward facing dog. And usually first one of the day feels a little tight, so take your time. Maybe walking it out a little bit. I know my first down dog of the day, there's lots of little snaps and crackles, a few pops as well. And then we'll walk the feet forward all the way to the top of your mat and land in a forward fold. So feet are parallel, if not all the way together. And then let the head hang. So we're trying to create some space. And if you're still feeling a little stiff this morning, keep a slight bend to the knees. So we want to kind of gently tease the body to open up, not forcing anything, nice and gentle first thing in the morning.
The nervous system likes that a lot. Couple deep breaths here. So as we flow through our practice, we'll intentionally give our muscles a little bit of oxygen throughout, waking everything up. And then nice and slow, ragdoll one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. Take your time, take your time. And then we'll get ready for a few sun salutations. It seems like the proper thing to do for morning yoga. So we'll do specifically sun salutation A. So here we go, standing up at the top of your mat, heels and toes together, lifting up nice and tall. From here, inhale, arms go up. Remembering your options for arms. If your shoulders are feeling a little stiff this morning, you can keep the arms parallel or even wider. On an exhale, gliding forward nice and smooth, like you're floating through water. On an inhale, looking up. And release. Plant the hands, send the feet back to a strong plank, scooping the belly in. Remember, you can lower your knees to the mat here, or for extra challenge, keep the knees up. From here, we lower chaturanga, and then maybe all the way down if you're heading into cobra, or maybe you're heading directly into upward facing dog. Your choice. Breathing deep. On an inhale, lifting and lengthening. And exhale. If you're in cobra, remember to release first, and then pressing up and back to downward dog. For 5 deep breaths, so conscious of that oxygen entering the body. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Send the feet forward all the way to the top, lengthening, looking up to the horizon for flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, reaching way up high, getting taller. And exhale, returning to a tall mountain. Ready for number 2. Inhale, even taller. Exhale, gliding forward, nice and smooth. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, plant the hands, send the feet back, belly scoops in as you lower chaturanga. Inhale, up, wide open shoulders. And exhale, downward facing dog. For 5 deep breaths, so nice big breaths. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And send the feet forward, all the way to the top, looking up for flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reaching way up high. And exhale to a tall mountain. Last one. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, feet go back and lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog for 5 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And send the feet forward all the way to the top, looking up for flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reaching up high. And exhale to a tall mountain. All right, so we'll head into like a half salutation to get into our next little section of today's class. So feet are all the way together, but feeling almost like it's a reset. So once again, shoulders back and down, belly scooping in and lengthening. On an inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, send the feet back either directly to downward facing dog, or for extra challenge, send the feet back to plank and lower. Inhale, up, and exhale. We'll all meet together in downward facing dog. So from here, let's take a 3-legged down dog. So we'll support ourselves on the left leg, right leg sweeps to the sky. Take a few moments here. So nice and easy, floating that right leg up, feeling the stretch in that bottom leg. And then we'll head into Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. So right foot steps forward, behind the right wrist. Then we'll spin the back heel down to the ground. Strong legs, strong glutes especially, come on up to Warrior 1. So if your stance is too long, I think mine is, got a little too excited there. So you can shorten your stance a little bit this way and then widen it a little bit this way, which I'm going to do. First thing in the morning, I'm just trying to get my hips nice and open, you know? First Warrior 1 of the day, drawing that right hip back, but still lifting through the back leg, and arms go up, breathing deep. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here, we'll release just a little, and then we'll open up to warrior 2. So shuffling the feet as needed to find a heel to arch alignment. Right heel, imaginary line intersects the back arch. Arms up in a T position, palms facing down, wide open shoulders. Warrior 2 for 1. Double checking that our torso is directly perpendicular. That's a tricky one. For 2, looking beyond the front fingertips. For 3, trying to use the glutes. The quad wants to take all the work. Use the glutes. Keep breathing. That's already 4. And 5. For extra challenge, stay in warrior 2. Otherwise, releasing just for a moment, arms and legs. We'll prepare for extended side angle, Utthita Parshvakonasana. So we'll all meet back together in warrior 2. And then either placing the right forearm on the right thigh and then extending the left arm up and over alongside the top ear, or my personal favorite for morning time is binding. So wherever you're at, opening up the heart to the sky. If you're binding, right arm goes through, wraps around, and back arm finds the right arm. Breathing deep, opening up the heart to the sky. I'm counting in my head, breathing deep. And that's about 5. Belly scoops in, coming all the way back, up, through warrior 2, and then let's take a triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. So we'll relax the arms and legs for a moment. Sometimes for triangle, that stance that we just had is a little bit too long. So we can shorten up the stance just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a super short stance, but just slightly shorter. And then arms up in a T position, palms facing down. We'll reach, reach, reach. And then place some weight into the shin. And then your choice of arms. The top arm traditionally lifts up to the sky. I really like for morning to wrap the back arm, kind of binding the back arm or the top arm so that it's below and behind you, and reaching for the right thigh. Continuing to breathe deep. And scooping the belly in. Come on all the way up to standing, and then we'll windmill the arms down through lunge. And then your choice, either step it all the way back to downward dog, or to make it nice and gentle this morning, back to child's pose, or for an extra challenge, we can vinyasa, stepping it back to plank and lowering chaturanga. Inhaling up and exhaling. We'll all meet together in downward facing dog. And we'll take a 3-legged down dog, left side. So secure the right leg down and lift and float the left leg up. And then we'll step it forward to warrior 1. So behind the left wrist, spin the back heel down to the ground, come on up. And if you find your stance is too long, mine is a little bit, shuffle the feet as needed for a nice and gentle warrior 1. Breathing deep for 1. 2. 3. So that quad's going to try to take all the work. Use the glutes, use the glutes. 4. And 5. So we'll release the pose just a little, and then we'll turn to face the long edge of the mat, shuffling the feet as needed to create that heel to arch alignment. On the left, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Arms go up, and we bend through the front leg. For a 1, double checking the torso is perpendicular. For 2, looking beyond the front fingertips. 3, trying to use the glutes. 4, and 5. For extra challenge, stay here. Otherwise, take a little rest for a moment with arms and legs. And then arms go up once again. We meet in Warrior 2, heading into extended side angle, the same variation. So either forearm to the thigh, right arm alongside the top ear, or we take a bind. Either way, we're opening up the heart to the sky and breathing deep. And belly scoops in. Come on all the way up. And then we'll prepare for Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So shortening the stance just a little bit. Double check that heel to arch alignment. Arms go up on an inhale. And then we reach, reach, reach on an exhale. And place the hand down onto the shin. Preferably same arm both sides, unless of course you're working with an injury. And usually if we have tightness in the shoulders, this variation for arms is lovely. Releases the pressure from the shoulders and even gives them a nice stretch. And scoop the belly in. Come on all the way up. And then we'll windmill the arms down through lunge. And then same options. Child's pose, downward dog, or for extra challenge, stepping it back to plank. And lowering chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale, downward dog. And then from here, we'll take a 3-legged again, right side. So left leg secured, right leg floats up. And then we'll prepare for Anjaneyasana, stepping the right foot forward. Back knee lowers down onto your mat, or maybe a folded blanket or something squishy. Come on up. Your choice of arms. So for traditional Anjaneyasana, the arms are up. If you want to take it a little lazy this morning, hands to the front knee. Few deep breaths. I love that feeling in the hip flexor first thing in the morning. It makes me feel alive. And what I love to do is really melt into this posture on every exhale. So despite my best efforts to relax through this posture at every moment, I do find myself, especially in the mornings, kind of, the legs are like, no. The mind's like, yeah, come on. So if I can think about, well, just on every exhale, relax, it's helpful. And then from here, we'll head into Anjaneyasana with a twist. So hands in a prayer, and then left elbow across the right knee. I find it's once you have the hands together, it's a little bit challenging, so I like to release the hands and help myself into the posture.
And then opening up, heart to the sky. It's a little balancy. And scooping the belly in. Come on all the way back. Either pause here or feel free to come out if you need to, or for an extra challenge heading into gecko just for a few moments. So left hand to the floor, pop the back toes off the floor, find the opposite hand to foot. Just for 5. Breathing deep for 4. 3. 2. And 1. Slowly release. Same options. Child's pose, downward dog, or extra challenge. Belly scoops in, front foot back to plank, and lowering chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale, downward dog. And from here, we'll take a 3-legged, so left leg floats up. And stepping up forward to Anjaneyasana, so left foot forward, back knee lowers, and come on up. Remembering your choices for arms, traditional is arms all the way up, or hands to the front knee. And then sinking and melting. Just for a few moments here. I'm still doing my focused relax on every exhale. All right, adding our twist. So right elbow crosses over left knee. And then we bring our hands together in a prayer. And then from here, the hands make their journey towards the sternum. And slowly squaring it all up. Either come on out for a moment or hold here, or for extra challenge, heading into gecko. So finding the opposite hand to foot. And breathing deep for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Remembering our vinyasa options, so child's pose or downward facing dog, or for extra challenge, stepping it back to plank. Belly scoops in for chaturanga. Inhaling up. And exhale, downward facing dog. I believe this is our last downward dog of class today. I don't know why, but every time I think of that, I try harder. I don't know why. And then gently lowering through hands and knees. And then all the way to seated, and then we'll lay all the way back, preparing for bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarangasana, or Urdhva Dhanurasana. upward facing bow pose. So we'll lay all the way back. And both variations start with a hair adjustment or not. So we lie on our backs, bending knees, feet on the floor, just slightly wider than hips width apart. And for bridge pose, arms along your sides, palms facing down. For bridge pose, hips go up, and you could even place a block beneath the hips for a really nice gentle variation, or for the dynamic variation or the active variation, we hold. Or for upward facing bow, so your choice this morning, know what's in your practice, don't push it. Hands beneath the shoulders. I'll walk us through the upward bow. We inhale on the floor. Exhale on the floor. Inhale to the top of the head. Pausing for a moment here, find your stability. When you're ready, pressing all the way up, and we hold 5 deep breaths. That's already 3, 4, and 5. Lowering to the top of the head, taking a moment, and then all the way down. And we'll hug the knees into your chest for Apanasana, maybe a little rock side to side. And then we'll prepare for a supine twist today. So 3 options again. I love our 3 options. So all options, our arms are in a T position, palms facing down. And in all options, we lift and scooch the hips over to the right. And then for the mild variation, both knees travel to the left. And the middle of the road is we extend the bottom leg. And for the full variation, twisted roots, we cross right all the way over left. And in all variations, really important to keep that right shoulder on the floor. And relaxing. And to come out, we'll scoop the belly in, press the low back into the floor, unravel and unwind, and then we'll prepare for the other side, so be sure you're all squared up. To begin, lift and scooch hips over to the left, and the leg or legs move over to the right. Both shoulders remain on the floor. And scoop the belly in,
press the low back into the floor. And once we unravel, unwind, hug both knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side, Apanasana. And maybe one last squeeze of the knees, really releasing the spine after a nice twist. And we'll prepare for Shavasana, final resting pose. So as always, if your back requires a little extra support today, keep the knees bent with the feet on the floor and allow the knees to tip in towards each other. Otherwise, extend the legs and the arms along your sides, palms facing up. And close the eyes. Softening everything, everything. But especially through the neck and the shoulders. And all the way down the arms. Letting the fingers softly curl. Softening through the face. Softening around the eyes. And even the muscle between the eyes. Just letting it all go. And starting to come back. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Gently roll your head from side to side. Then reach your arms above head on the floor for a big stretch, feeling totally refreshed. And bending your knees in one at a time. And then gently roll over to your right side and pause for a moment as you come back. And slowly start to press yourself all the way up to a comfortable seated position, taking all the time you need to arrive. And when you do, palms facing up on the knees, inhale, sitting up tall, and exhale, close the eyes. And just take those final moments to thank yourself for showing up to your practice today and taking care of you. And slowly open the eyes. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a really good rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.